Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Touchline Facts. First and foremost, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell. Join the membership if you want as well. It's literally like £1.99, I think, for a month. You get a nice, cool little badge if you want to come jump in my live chat. Do you know what I mean? All that good stuff. And today we've got a transfer update regarding the striker merry-go-round that's still happening. The striker merry-go-round's been happening all summer. If it was like all summer, we've been talking about is strikers. Gyökeres, Man United have been linked with about 6. Ekitike, another one. Chelsea signed Delap and João Pedro. Now we've got the Sesko drama's been happening with Arsenal before. Now it's happening with Newcastle, Liverpool, Isak. We've had a lot of striker merry-go-rounds. Literally almost every big club in England has been after a striker this summer, except Manchester City, because obviously they got the robot up front. But yeah, other than that, literally, I said big club, didn't I? My bad. The big clubs, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, have all been in for strikers this summer. And Liverpool have already got one, Chelsea have already got 2, Arsenal have already got 1, but Liverpool are apparently in search for another one because they're willing to break the British transfer record for one of the best strikers on the planet, Alexander Isak. Now, yesterday we know that the news broke out that he's apparently wanting to leave Newcastle because they cannot offer him 300k a week and he wants £300,000 a week to stay at Newcastle. And I believe Liverpool probably will offer him that if he goes there. Chelsea won't though, because Chelsea's wage structure, and they've obviously got 2 strikers. And yeah, the only real club in the Premier League that can afford him and actually attract him and will actually go in for him is Liverpool. And according to Fabrizio Romano, in this tweet that I bookmarked here, there you go. Apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, sorry, I've gone out of finger there. Apparently, Isak wants Liverpool. Now, I don't think this is actually Fabrizio's word. This has come from Fabrizio's Twitter account, but I don't think this is actually Fabrizio's words. He says that it's his priority as reported. And now we know Fabrizio is the clickbait merchant himself. He's the grifter merchant himself. He loves to suck every transfer dry. So it being his priority as reported is probably... Notice how he hasn't put anyone as whatever. He hasn't tried to... tell us where the reports have come from, but he said no talks of Al Hilal, Chelsea, or Manchester United. Obviously, Man United rumours. I knew that was a fantasy. It was just me sitting there going, look, we can somewhat put our name in the hat, but I'm not surprised we haven't, because if we can barely afford to pay Watkins 60 million, we're not going to be able to pay 130, 140 million for Alexander Isak. Maybe if we sell Bruno, if we won that final against Spurs, 2 or 3 things happen down the line, maybe potentially we'd be able to put our name in the hat, but for now, I don't think we could put our name in the hat. And then obviously Florian Plettenberg, or in response to this, Newcastle, apparently their replacement is Benjamin Sesko. Well, that's what they're trying to do. Look, Newcastle and Benjamin Sesko's camp are in concrete talks with RB Leipzig. Informed, however, there is still no verbal agreement, but Newcastle/Sesko working on it. Newcastle United Football Club have had Sesko on their radar since 2022. Let's see what happens in the coming days and weeks. So far, Leipzig have not received any offer for Sesko. Leipzig are demanding 80 million euros to 100 million euros. Well, they can jog on with that one, mate, because I tell you now, Newcastle fans, just because you sold Isak does not mean you should pay 80 to 100 million euros for Sesko. He is a 40 million pound player, if that, at best. Trust me, he's not that good. There's a reason why Arsenal snubbed him. There's a reason why Man United don't want to go there. There's a reason why Liverpool don't want to go there. There's a reason why Chelsea don't want to go there. All these top clubs have chosen other strikers, Liam Delap's, João Pedro's, Gyökeres, Ekitike. They've all chosen other strikers and other options instead of Sesko. Trust me, if you're going to pay it £40 million max, maybe £40 million plus 10 million in add-ons, that's the max you should go for him. He is not that guy. And replacing Isak, if Isak is to leave, which I personally still believe he probably will stay at Newcastle, I can't lie. I have my own thoughts on that. But if Isak is to leave Newcastle and you replace him with Benjamin Sesko, that is like when Man United, that is almost the same level as when Man United replaced Ronaldo with Valencia, Owen, and Bebe. That is that level of downgrade, trust me. Like, yeah, Owen was a Ballon d'Or winner, he was washed. And yeah, Valencia actually was a good servant for the club, became a great right back and a decent player for us. But, you know what I'm saying, you're replacing one of the best strikers in, forget the league, he's arguably top 5 in the world, Isak, if not definitely top 10, with Benjamin Sesko, who I mean, is he even in the top 20 strikers in the world? Probably not. I reckon I could probably name. I reckon I could name at least 10 in the Premier League better than him. Do you want me to name 10 in the Premier League better than him? Ollie Watkins, Gyökeres now, Ekitike now, Delap, João Pedro, Haaland, flicking through teams. Have I said Isak? I don't know if I said Isak. I think I've said Isak. If Isak's at Newcastle, whether it's at Newcastle, Liverpool, wherever. Solanke's probably better than him. That's the 8, and then two more. You get the gist though. I'm sure I can't think of the top of my head having a brain freeze. I don't want to bore you with that. But yeah, you could genuinely name out 10 Premier League strikers better than him, let alone 20 in the world. Trust me, this guy's not that good. And I'm really glad Man United didn't end up signing him. I do understand that, the striker market is not dead. This summer it's been very much alive. However, it's like Newcastle were joining the striker market a bit too late. I know they wanted Liam Delap at the start of the window, but they're joining the striker market a bit too late. They wanted João Pedro as well. To be fair, so both their main striker targets got nicked by Chelsea. But trust me, you guys are probably better off. If you're going to spend 40 million pounds, I think you're in for a decent treat. But if you're going to spend 80 million on the guy, you're not in for a decent treat because you're going to eat into your budget for other players for a player that I don't think you need. Like you need that type of player, but I don't think him as a player is good. I just don't rate him. I feel like he's fundamentally not that good. His ability's not that good. And as I said, there's a reason why a lot of top clubs have snubbed him and they've gone for other targets. But listen, regards to Isak to Liverpool. Now, as I say, I personally believe he's going to stay at Newcastle for one more year. If he does end up going to Liverpool, yeah, it's long. It's really long, really, really long, because they're guaranteed a trophy pretty much next year. They're guaranteed a trophy anyways. They win trophies every year pretty much. When they're good, they win a trophy. They might have an off year, but they're probably not going to have an off year next year because they've signed so many players. Their squad's refreshed. You've got Mo Salah and Van Dijk who've signed new deals. They've signed a new goalkeeper, a new right back, a new left back. They've signed Florian Wirtz. They've signed a new striker. They could potentially get another striker. And they've done about 300 million. They're pretty much guaranteed trophies next year. But if they sign Isak, they undoubtedly become the favourites right now because Man City, for me, needs another right back, potentially another centre back, and they're just signing James Trafford. So potentially Man City still need to sort the defence out, maybe another midfielder as well. Man City is still going for a bit of a transitional period, but listen, they've still got Pep Guardiola and they've still got the likes of Haaland, Foden, Cherki, Savio, a lot of top players, Reinders, Rodri. They've still got a lot of top players in that squad. But if Liverpool do sign Isak, that undoubtedly makes them by far favourites. That makes them probably evens odds to win the Premier League, which I haven't seen that. Even Man City, when they were doing a 4-peat, they were 11-10. I haven't seen someone with that. Probably makes Liverpool evens odds to win the Premier League. And Man City probably pushing about 17-10 or something like that. Because at this moment in time, Liverpool are currently the Premier League champions. They currently have arguably the best player in the Premier League. They've currently got the best centre-back in the Premier League. In my opinion, they've got the two best midfielders in the Premier League in Gravenberch and McAllister. You can argue Caicedo all you want, but for me, the two best midfielders are McAllister and Gravenberch. And then just on top of that, they've got a good manager. They've got other players there. That Kirkes is one of the best left backs in the league. It just looks long. And then they get on top of that, they get the second best striker in the Premier League, who some people would argue is the best striker in the Premier League. Yeah, it's looking real long if they get this deal over the line. I hope and pray to God this deal does not, whether it's a fax machine, David De Gea settings, whether, I don't know, Isak, listen, for the greater good, Isak might have to just drop his, I'm about to say drop, I don't want to say drop dead, I'll say drop in training with his knee, something like that, and he's out for a few months, he fails a medical or some shit like that, for the greater good of things, maybe Isak, just get injured for a few months, just chill out a little bit. I mean, I'm sure Newcastle fans would accept that if he gets injured for 2 or 3 months, just so they can keep him, whatever, just to the end of, to the start of September, the end of August type thing, just so this deal doesn't happen. Anything to stop this deal happening. Maybe poison his drink or something, put him in a coma for fucking 3 weeks. That's a joke, by the way. But just do something to stop this deal happening. Because if this deal does happen, listen, there's no guarantee in the Premier League, no guarantee in football. The Premier League is a very competitive league, despite what some people say. It is. But, yeah. Stop this deal happening. Anyways. Peace. I'm out, people. Hit the sub button, hit the like button. Cheers.